Yo, 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 yo. We are the ill-advised wise guys. Your boy, I got my boy.
Too easy for sheezy. It's way too easy. Happy Labor Day, easy. Happy Labor Day, guys.
Happy Labor Day to the people who have jobs still.
Yes.
You know, the economy is supposedly getting better. Supposedly.
I heard.
They're adding jobs. And I'm doing this because I don't know if that's facts, but yeah, man, you know the unemployment rate is still 8.4. That's extremely high, guys. I don't know if you guys know this.
Very high, but I mean, there's some little pandemic going on right now, so I get it.
That. Something like it's something that rhymes with the some beer that I used to drink. You know, I forget the name, but
Something that rhymes with Dos Equis, Flos Fleckies.
Maybe. Who's counting? But
yeah, man.
Something that rhymes with Guinness.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, like you said, happy Labor Day for the people out there. You know, this is officially the end of summer, technically. You know what I'm saying? Pools are closing. People
Schools are opening.
No, closing.
Schools are opening.
Oh, schools. Yeah. Schools are opening. Hurricane season is about to be in store for people who are traveling to, you know what I'm saying, like the Caribbeans and stuff like that.
Jump offs are migrating south.
With the birds.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think but by south I think you mean Mexico.
No. we're in Puerto Rico. You know what's funny? Speaking of, I had a conversation with my barber, and he has a baby mama that's in Puerto Rico, and I was like, you know something? Puerto Ricans, you don't hear them say they're actually American as much. They, you know, if you come across a Puerto Rican, they say, "Man, I'm Puerto Rican." I'm pretty sure some of them say, "I'm not American, I'm Puerto Rican." But you know, Puerto Rico is actually part of America. It's America's territory, so they're technically Americans.
Thank you for the history lesson. We did not need to know that because I think most people knew that. You know what I'm saying? But hey, it's all good. It's all good.
So I mean, if you actually see somebody that says, "Hey, think about it. Come on, we've all been to New York, right? And you've seen somebody that said my heritage is Puerto Rican, right?
Yes,
I'm Puerto Rican. I'm Puerto Rican. That's like somebody essentially saying, "Man, I'm Floridian. I'm Floridian."
No, it's not.
Why is it?
Because Florida is a state and Puerto Rico is a country.
Puerto Rico,
and one is a territory, which means Puerto Rico has its own culture, its own tradition, and they simply are just affiliated officially with America. Mm-hmm. They have their own tradition. They spend U.S. dollars. I think that's really what it comes down to. Mm-hmm. I don't know if they call themselves American though. Like, how does that work? That's my question.
Are they even
for the countries
who country? They're not country. They're not a country.
Puerto Rico's not a country?
Puerto Rico is not a country.
What is Puerto Rico?
It's an island.
Fam, an island can be a country. What are you talking about?
What?
How can an island just means it just describes the body of land.
I don't know about this, brother. I don't know.
Oh no. Hey, you wild. Hey, listen. Before we keep going into the shits, I need to intro the episode. We forgot to do that. This is episode 80, and we are broadcasting live from an island.
Revis Island or what island?
One of the Rona Island. I don't know, man. But now back to this convo, and we'll make this quick before we jump into the hot topics. But I'm trying to think of another country that is an island.
Okay,
there has to be one that's obvious.
I want you to listen to this. This is the internet. Puerto Rico is a territory of the United States. Puerto Ricans are U.S. citizens.
Yes.
It is Puerto Rico is an unincorporated territory of the United States classified as a commonwealth. Many Puerto Ricans consider it to be a country in itself. So it's not officially a country. It's no, that has nothing to do with, I did not say it was a country. My brother, I did not say that that's
many Puerto Ricans say what?
Okay, I consider Texas a country. That doesn't mean it's a country.
But that would be false because they're not, because they're in the United States of America and they are officially a state of the country of America.
U.S.
Puerto Rico. See, I think the biggest question that I have the biggest question that I have is what are the core differences between a territory and a state? That's what I need to understand.
A territory is pretty much okay. Here's the thing.
No. Let's Google this. Hold up.
Somebody has to.
Yeah, I don't.
Let's put some.
Go ahead, man.
We're going commercial, right? Let's do a commercial.
Territory versus state.
Here we go.
Let's see. What is the difference between a territory and a state? Under Article 4 of the U.S. Constitution, a territory is subject to and belongs to the United States, but not necessarily within national boundaries or an individual state. This includes tracts of islands, water, blah, 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 blah. And any states is not limited as a state into the union. All right.
It's not a country. It's an island is not a country, stupid.
Why are you saying island? I didn't even mention island. Not that one time I never said island.
No, you said an island earlier. You said an island is a country. Like an island can be a country. No, an island's an island. An island is not considered a country. That's why Jamaica.
Oh my God.
UK territory, brother. Jamaica is UK territory. They're not. That's
country. I got you. Hold up. Countries that are islands. Boom.
Country that are islands.
List of island countries. This is a dumb argument. You're about to be proven wrong instantly. I just don't have the names off the top. All right. Cuba. That is an island. What else? Dominican Republic. That is an island. What else? Haiti. That is an island. Iceland. That is an island. Ireland is an island. You know, Japan is an island. Did you know that?
I know that. Of course I know that.
So then when you tell me an island can't be a country, that's stupid.
Well, okay.
It doesn't make sense.
Let me rephrase it. Let me backtrack.
Please, because that didn't make any sense.
An island, just because you are an island doesn't mean you're a country. That's what I meant to say. Just because you're an island doesn't mean you are a country.
I wasn't arguing that.
So Puerto Rico
I agree.
Is not a country. That's what I was really trying to tell you. Just because you're an island, you're not a country.
I wasn't arguing that. I agree with that. You're wrong about what you think you said, but let's move on though, man. Let's get into the episode, man. How about that?
I think
some ill-advised facts for people who...
See, we got started, right? We got started.
Ill-advised facts for people who actually thought they knew what an island was or lack thereof, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying?
You told me a thought? Man,
yeah, man. Aren't you going to Mexico? You flying down south, right?
I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go.
Yo, listen. For those of you guys who stuck through this pointless discussion we just had, hopefully you learned something. But if you're new to this, you know, this is what we do, guys. You know, this is what we do. If you're part of the Wise Gang, we have wise, intelligent conversations that usually end up in really nothing. But hey.
I'm always right on these conversations for some reason.
You were wrong every time. This entire time.
There's just some people that are just don't know what the hell they're talking about sometimes.
Oh man, yeah, I think. Yeah, you know, usually people with like pipes and open wires behind them. You know, usually those people are wrong.
Are you calling Super Mario wrong? I'm kicking your ass.
Hey, let's get into.
You were Sonic the Hedgehog kid, weren't you?
I was, man. I had the shoes and everything, man. Stop hating. For those of you guys who are listening on Apple Podcasts, yo, give us a rating, a review. If you're watching this on YouTube, give us a like the video, or as they like to say, smash the like button.
What the hell?
Smash the like button. Yeah, you don't watch YouTube, so you don't understand this.
Smash it? Like,
calm down. It's not that deep. Put a condom on. should I put a condom on before I hit the like button? No, it's not that deep, man.
What the hell is that?
But yeah, man, we hope you guys stay with us for the rest of the show. We're gonna get into some new music, and we got a special conversation with an up and coming artist later on our Who Got Next segment. So stay tuned. And if you don't want to watch the full episode, hey, I'm sure we'll include the timestamps in the episode description. Nonetheless, let's get into this first topic. Steve Nash. Actually, wait a minute. I think I'm out of order. Nope. NBA playoffs, man. Let's get into that. NBA playoff predictions. For those of you guys who are watching the playoffs, Giannis and the Bucks are down 3-0 as of today. Now, I don't know when you guys are going to be listening to this episode. The Bucks may pull it out. They may go to 7 games and win. Who knows? Even though I don't think that's going to happen. Let's do series by series as of right now, and we'll give our prediction really quickly. All right? Bucks versus Heat. Who you got?
Is that a rhetorical question? Like, I think Bucks can pull it out. I mean, I think Bucks can win if Miami won 3 in a row. That's what a lot of people don't understand. If Miami won 3 in a row, why can't Bucks win 3 in a row? I think that they're going to make it close, but I think Miami's going to end up winning.
Yeah, I'm calling a sweep. I got Heat winning in 4. Obviously, that's what a sweep is, but
MVPs can't.
That's not true. Didn't LeBron win that MVP that one year where they got swept in the finals by the Spurs? He didn't win the MVP that year?
Maybe.
Anyway, yeah, not much to talk about in this series. We'll see what happens in the next round when the Heat win. Celtics and Raptors. Who you got, man?
I think that's going to be a pretty good series after that very, very tight game-winning play, like the game-winning 3-point shot. Like, did you see – everybody wants to talk about the shot. Did you see that pass by Kyle Lowry? Kyle Lowry's my favorite player. I've been telling you guys lately. That's my favorite player. I got off the John Wall bandwagon, and now Kyle Lowry is my favorite player. He made a fantastic pass. I think that makes the difference in this series. I think Toronto's going to come back and win the series.
Bro, you just sound like Tim Legler. That was – you've been watching a lot of freaking NBA analysis, huh?
I love me some Tim Legler.
Yo, that was perfect NBA analysis talk. But anyway.
I aspire to first take.
I get it. I can tell. But you know what? I got the Celtics, man. I think the Celtics are poised to really establish what they've already established in this series. Granted, OG Anunoby, my guy, OG, one of the tightest names I've heard in my life.
Like you. He actually looks – you guys look very similar, you and OG Anunoby. It's probably the hair.
Well, him and Spike Lee too, right? I mean, I guess we're all related.
You like a
somehow, some way.
He has no facial hair.
Right. Or glasses, that I can tell. But yeah, I got the Celtics, man. I got the Celtics. They're just a better team to me. Granted, Toronto is scrappy. They have people like Kyle Lowry, like you said, dudes who are not going to let them go without a fight. I would not be surprised if this series gets tied up and it goes to about 6 or 7 games. I would not be surprised, but I got the Celtics. I got them.
Okay.
Next series, Nuggets and Clippers, man.
I think I would like the series to be a 3-game sweep. I don't even feel like watching any of that. I mean, Nuggets.
Well, come on, man. You don't want to watch freaking Jokic? Come on,
man. Jokic.
You don't like Jokic?
I love Jokic, but when a fat white man goes up against some rough, rugged black dudes in basketball, the sport of basketball, if your best player is that versus these rugged ass black dudes, nah, not in basketball.
Wait, is Jokic the best player on that team?
Of course, he's the best player. I mean, don't give me that Jamal Murray nonsense. Jokic
I'm asking a question. Are you sure he's the best player on that team?
It goes Jokic, then Bol, then Michael Porter, then
yeah. All right, knock it off. All right, I'm done with this.
Lovely.
You're way off base, number one, because now I give you Jokic as being the best player, but don't give me Bol. I ain't talking about potential. I'm talking about who is the best player. I'm surprised you didn't say the water boy before Jamal Murray.
No. It's Jokic, then Jamal Murray, in my humbling opinion. If they're to win, Jokic is the one. Because remember, if you watched Game 7, Jokic actually hit the game-winning shot. Nobody talks about it, but he actually hit the game-winning shot, and he started playing good. So
yeah. I got Clippers easily. This is not even a conversation. It's done. And then lastly, Rockets and Lakers. Rockets won game 1, which is crazy to me. But we talked about this a little offline. Rockets are a very bad matchup for anybody because of the fact, they're high-powered superstars. I mean, let's not forget at the end of the day, they got Russell Westbrook and Harden. Like, any team with both of those caliber players on there, I would not consider that team trash. So, like, let's anticipate a good series. However, I got Lakers coming out of that just because I think they're a better overall team with better leadership, period. And enough said.
I got Rockets. I got Rockets. I think what a lot of people forget is the only team that has stood in the Rockets' way these last couple of years is Golden State Warriors. Rockets have been easily handling the rest of the league. So I don't think it's just this automatic thing where you just pick Lakers to win. I think Rockets are going to give them major issues. I actually think Rockets are going to win the series. So if that's
let's not get it twisted. I'm not saying Rockets are going to lose badly. I'm not saying Lakers are going to sweep or anything like that. That is not what I'm saying. Definitely going to be close. But we'll see how many games it actually goes to, by the time somebody wins. We shall see. Yeah. Sticking with the NBA, though, because I do think we should move on. Steve Nash recently got the head coaching job for the Brooklyn Nets, which came as a surprise to me. I mean, it sounded like it shocked everybody. I don't want to talk about the hiring per se and whether or not he'll actually do a good job because it remains to be seen. We'll see. He's never coached before. We have nothing to go off of. So we'll see what happens. He does have Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving as his top dudes next year to anchor that team. So we'll see how the team operates. What I want to get at is the sort of the tone that was set from a cultural, standpoint with the hiring of a white guy. A lot of people are calling white privilege with this. A lot of people are saying, what about all these black coaches that didn't get opportunities? Why are y'all not hiring black coaches? All of this stuff. I want to get your thoughts on this because I'm not sure if we agree all the way. However, I do think we agree with the premise of what this actually means. So, I mean, what are your thoughts, man?
I mean, personally, I just feel like it made sense. Like the hire made sense when you think about who he was affiliated with the Nets. He played with the person that hired him. He's coached from a kind of a minor perspective. Kevin Durant with Golden State Warriors. Like, I don't think it came out of nowhere. And then on top of it is Steve Nash. Steve Nash is one of the greatest basketball players of all time. Like, I just don't think you can be mad about a situation like this. Now if it was somebody like, I don't know, what's that? Chris Dudley from New York Knicks wants to get a coaching job with the Brooklyn Nets, and it comes out of nowhere. They just give it to him. Then I would have an issue with that. But I don't think this is something to quite rah about. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of caught off guard too when I saw that it was Steve Nash, and I was kind of like, damn, all those good black candidates got passed over. But once I started to realize who hired him, it made sense to me.
Yeah. So for me, I think the biggest thing that I took away from the hiring is more, it's about who you know,
Exactly.
always, versus what you know. Because, I mean, let's be real. I think one of the things that people are leaving out is the fact that Steve Nash is Steve Nash. Like, Steve Nash is one of the greatest point guards to ever play in the NBA. I'm not going to get into a top 3, top 5, but I do believe he is top 10. I do believe that. And so with that being said, and I'm talking, there's a long list of dudes who we can get into. John Stockton, Jason Kidd, Magic Johnson, blah, blah. The list goes on. However, when you start getting into Steve Nash and I think what he was able to do as a player for so long, running several organizations on the basketball court as a player, leading the charge with the Suns' high-powered offense. Let's not act like, some scrub was hired. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, some guy, some Chris Dunn, whoever the fuck that is, right? Some random dude. Let's not act like that's what happened. Like, we're talking about Steve Nash. And while I will acknowledge, in the climate that we are in, it is a little skeptical. We should be skeptical of any hiring of white people, to be honest with you, especially in a sport like the NBA where there's already inequities, when it comes to head coaching jobs, GM jobs, ownership. I mean, I think Michael Jordan was the only black owner for the long. Is he even still the owner of the Hornets? He is?
Yeah, he still is.
Okay, well, there you go. So he's still the.
Oh, you know what? Actually, I think he
did he sell the team?
I can't remember. He went down a little bit in terms of percentage because he's not a full owner of the team. If I recall.
There you go. So the thing is, there's a lot of inequities just throughout sports. So I understand people's concern with this and the tone and the climate we're in. However, I just don't think that the hiring of Steve Nash is one of those situations where we should cry. We should cry and say that Black people are not being represented, which that is a fact. That is true. Black people are not being represented. Again, it's Steve Nash. I want to point out, man, because there's a lot of dudes who, a lot of players, former players who, black former players who have never coached before, who got jobs. You know what I'm saying? Mark Jackson, Isaiah Thomas, Magic Johnson, Doc Rivers. There's a few. Those are the few that come to mind. However, I understand the argument, so I'm sensitive to it. But I just don't think that this is one of those situations where we should get too worked up. I just don't feel that way. So with that being said, we want to know what y'all think about this matter. Let us know, man. For real. Let's extend the convo online.
Sure.
Shall we move on to the next topic?
I think so.
You wanna kick this off?
Oh, let's talk about it. Chadwick Boseman, Black Panther, amazing actor, passed away a week, 2 weeks ago?
Or a week and a half?
Yeah, about a week.
It was a week and a half, something like that?
It was about a week ago.
Okay.
Yeah, that caught me off guard. I think Chadwick Boseman, great actor, but what he was able to do in just a couple of his roles, how he was able to kind of galvanize us as people, our community, the Black community, was unbelievable. Hearing his story and what he had to battle these last couple of years is inspiring, motivating, And to be honest with you, scary. Scary. The fact that somebody of his age was having to have to deal with something like historically that gets, people that are a lot older is crazy. It's a wake up call. But at the same time, it just lets you know a couple of things. It lets you know how hard of a worker he was. It lets you know how sucky life can be sometimes. And then it lets you know just the importance of understanding what people are dealing with in life. And to understand, the main way you understand what people are dealing with in life is by understanding that you're not going to always understand what somebody's dealing with. And I know a lot of people were making comments about what he looked like, his energy. I was one of those people, right? When I would see him on interviews, I'm like, this guy is so dull. He seems lifeless. For somebody who played such big characters, he seems lifeless. Like when you talk to him, he seems very low in energy. And now just figuring out what he had to deal with is crazy, heartbreaking. And so I actually hate talking about it, but that's what we're supposed to do. Rest in peace to him. Great actor. His legacy will live on.
Hey, that was well stated, for real. Well stated, man. I think first and foremost, man, rest in peace to him. Condolences to his family and people who actually knew him and knew what he was going through. Because, I since the story broke, I've been like really trying to figure out how he was able to persevere for the last, I think it was 4 years since they said he was diagnosed, and really be a part of our lives. You know what I'm saying? If you're somebody who watches movies, watches the movies that he was a part of, you'll realize that damn near every role he was in was extremely memorable. Like I don't think he wasted a movie that he was in. I really don't believe that. Like if we talking about the one where he played Jackie Robinson, to Black Panther, to even the newest one that came out, the Five Bloods, where it was a Spike Lee produced joint that was put out on Netflix, where they detailed the Vietnam War and just the story of how Black people were in the war and all of that stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's been a part of, he had been a part of powerful movies. And so it seems like the movies that he chose were really, I would say, a reflection of who it felt like he was. Like, at least what we are now getting to understand about what he was going through, having colon cancer, being diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer, something like that, and persevering. Like you said, man, it was, I wasn't really hip to when people were making fun of his weight and stuff like that. I didn't hear about none of that when it was happening. I don't recall that. That just goes to show you social media, though, right? Always looking for something to make fun of when you don't really know the full story. I'm sure a lot of people thought it was for a role because we've seen that. I don't know if you remember 50 Cent. There was a picture of him like years ago when he was doing this role. Dude, when like he was bald and he was really skinny. I was like, yo, what the hell? Like, what's wrong with 50 Cent? And lo and behold, he was doing a role, right, as an actor, trading for a role. So with that being said, man, you never know what people are going through. And just be nice to people, man. Like, because real talk, no one knew. It sounds like no one knew but his family. And I respect him for not feeling compelled to tell people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not one of those people who feel like you should tell everybody your business. If this is something you want to keep close to home and with the people that you love, it's your right, And what this should tell us is, like I said, man, just be empathetic to people because you really never know what somebody's going through. Somebody can be here today, gone tomorrow, and you're like, what the fuck? But they were just here and they just seemed cool.
Yep.
Well, guess what? They were suffering in some way. And so, yeah, man, rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman, man. Groundbreaking actor. I say that very confidently with his role that he played in Black Panther, because I think one thing that's for certain is that Black Panther was more than just a movie. More than just a movie. You know what I'm saying? It was really the spark of the consciousness of a lot of Black Americans in this country. And so, yeah, man, rest in peace. Rest in peace, man.
Yes, sir.
Man, that was heavy. That was heavy, man. Oh, and then also, lastly, don't wait until you get to your 40s, man. Hey, we got to stay healthy out here, man.
That is fact.
I don't care if you need to like work out daily. I don't care if you need to change your diet. Go to the freaking doctor in your 30s before you get to your, like, we got to stay alive, bro.
That is fact.
We got to stay alive, period. So do whatever you need to do, man. Like, that story was sad. That story was sad. I think it hit everybody.
Listen to your body.
For sure. Let's move on, though. On a more lighthearted note, the XXL Freshman list for 2020 was announced probably about, what was it, 3 weeks ago or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
3-4 weeks ago. I don't freaking remember. But the freestyles for all of the artists came out, and I'm here to tell you guys, majority of them were bad. And you know, before I get into why they were bad, I want to point out that this was the first year that I can confidently say that I knew majority of the people on that list. Like, I am engulfed in whether I like their music, whether I'm a fan, quote unquote, whether they're in heavy rotation. I'm very familiar with the majority of the people on that list. This is one of the first years where that's happened. So that's a side note. I thought that was interesting. I'll give you some of the standouts. To me, Polo G's freestyle really stood out. You know, not surprising if you listen to Polo G's music, you understand what he's about. Another person I really liked who their freestyle was Cowboy. Surprising. Even Jack Harlow. Jack Harlow, I'm gonna give him props because he went real social justice with his freestyle. The only white guy on the list, really white person, if I'm not mistaken. And he really gave a freestyle that was hip to the times, Black Lives Matter type thing. You know what I'm saying? It was noble of him. However, lastly, you know what? I'm gonna give somebody else credit. Chica. I don't know who Chica is. I never heard of this lady before before XXL. Her freestyle was pretty dope too. I'm gonna give her some credit. Everybody else though,
you didn't think Rod Wave? What about Rod Wave?
I didn't like Rod Wave. I didn't like his. Like, this freestyle showed me that I think these new age artists need beats. Really need beats to highlight what they do well. Like, you can't just put somebody a cappella and just expect them to just wow you and amaze you. I think that's where they went wrong this year. Because if I'm not mistaken, last year or 2 years ago, they actually had dudes freestyling over beats, which was dope. And also, man, come on. Hey, listen, I love Fivio Foreign and the Brooklyn Wave, the Brooklyn Drill Wave, but his freestyle, nah, bro. No, absolutely not. And I'm trying to be respectful because a lot of these dudes actually make pretty decent music. You know what I'm saying? But please, XXL, don't do that again. Have these dudes rapping over actual beats. And I think the reception will be a little different, at least for me. Not that you give a damn what I think, but hey, I'm telling you what I think anyway. Majority of the freestyles were bad, man. What did you think?
So I didn't get a chance to listen to many of them. I listened to Rod Waves. I got a chance to listen to Polo G's. You know what's pretty interesting about each person? They have their own style of rapping, and they stuck to that style of rapping. Like, Polo G stuck to that same flow he always uses. Rod Wave stuck to his soulful rapping. And the other people stuck to what they do best. I want to go a different route here. There were some people I thought were missing from this list, right? Where was our boy Kid Leroy? I thought Kid Laroi could have been on the freshman list. He dropped an album, right? He had some hot stuff.
I think it's a little too early, man.
Where was J.I. the Prince of New York? J.I. the Prince of New York is bubbling in the streets. What happened to him? What happened to Lil Durk Shooter? Lil Durk Shooter should have made the list, right?
No, hell no.
Yeah, he should have made the list. Yeah, King Von should have made the list. He's bubbling in the streets. There's a couple people that I feel like are missing from this list, but I also want to talk about the people that I think have the brightest future, right? Because if you go back and look at one of the XXL editions, I believe it was 2012, that had like 21 Savage, had Lil Yachty, had Lil Uzi Vert, had all them people on there. That was easily the best freshman list I've ever seen. But there's always that one person that never blows up. There's always that one person that blows up to the max. And there's always that one person that does not live up to their potential. So based off this list, I'm going to give you my each. I'm going to give you my answer for each. The most talented person on this list, in my opinion, is probably Polo G. I think Polo G's potential is endless. I think he has a good ear for music. I think he's going to get better. Don't get me wrong. I love Jack Harlow. And Mulatto is going to blow up. Mulatto is going to blow up. I personally think Chica is a little too out there. I don't think people are ready to appreciate what she does well. 24K Golden, sorry, I haven't heard a song by 24K Golden. If 24K Golden made this list, then you have to put the Kid Laroi on there. I don't know Baby Keem like that. NLE Choppa, he got to show me something. And Rod Wave, I don't know yet. But I think it's clear as day Polo G is the best on this list, and it's not coincidental that he has probably the best freestyle.
Polo G is 100% the leader of that school. And there's really not many people that I would say is close to him, honestly, on that list. And it's not me saying that dumb other people don't have futures. It's just Polo G, I think he's a step above the pack. He's a step above. Like, to be honest with you, it's to the point where I actually don't believe he should be on the cover. Like, I think that his presence, what he does, the year he's had, what he's been able to show, he has separated him. He's actually beyond XXL to me. Like, there's certain artists that actually become beyond it. And so when you see them off of it, a lot of them, they got snubbed, but some of them are actually beyond it. Yeah, I'll give you a list. I'll give you a name who should be on here. Don Toliver. He should be on here.
Oh, yeah, Don Toliver.
He should be on it. He should be on here before anybody you mentioned before. I would put him above J.I. the Prince. I would put him above the other two you mentioned. I can't remember. But
Kid Laroi.
Anyway, I would put him above Kid Laroi. Not that I think he's better. I love Kid Laroi. I just think it's too early for him. He's 16, dog. Like, he has like 3 years to freaking make the damn cover. Like, come on. Let's be real. But let's move on. Let's move on, man. We want to know what you guys think if the XXL Freshman cover was if they got it wrong, who would you put on there? What you think of the freestyles? Let us know. We want to hear your thoughts. Let's keep it moving, man. Last topic I got before we get into the music is Lil Wayne. I just want to shout out Lil Wayne because his 2009 No Ceilings mixtape, which was one of I really feel like, I don't think it's his best mixtape that he ever dropped. It's arguably my favorite Lil Wayne mixtape out of that whole mixtape run. It's now on streaming services. And I really can't believe it's been 11 years, but yeah, man, shout out to Wayne. Wayne is a GOAT, living GOAT out here. So, in other words,
that's all
if you've been somebody like me who've been wondering where the hell you can listen to this music for the last 5 years and you don't want to illegally download it, Just go to Spotify now. That's the point, guys. This is a PSA.
Okay. How much? I don't think I've got the numbers of how much we're getting paid for this advertisement. I didn't know we advertised Lil Wayne now, but
Let me see. No. I think you missed it.
Carry the 2.
I think you missed it. He hit me up directly, so I'm the only one getting paid for that, not you.
Okay, this is
makes sense where you're not in the loop.
Okay. Be prepared to talk to Judge Judy. Answer her by saying yes, Judge. Don't say yes, ma'am.
So on a bigger note, before we move on, what was your favorite Lil Wayne mixtape? That's really what I want to get into, because my favorite one is No Ceilings. My favorite. Not saying the best one, because I think his best mixtape to me is Dedication 2. I think Dedication 2 is his best. It was the most impactful one. However, there was something about No Ceilings that really hit me differently, and it's my favorite Wayne mixtape. What was your favorite? And what do you think is the best one?
Which, you know what? I got to. You got me a little off guard with that one. It was his most recent one, which would be not most recent one. Sorry, it was one that I would not consider a mixtape. It was more like an album, but I'm Not a Human Being. Remember that joint? I think that was either an EP mixtape, something like that. But that's the joint that had, I'm Single. It had This Ain't Me, Popular, right above it. That to me was my favorite. If you consider it a mixtape.
You said I Am Not a Human Being? I thought that was an album, actually. Wasn't that an album?
Was like an EP mixtape type thing. But, it's hard to, the lines were blurred like around this time, where whatever the hell it was.
Very true. Very true.
I cheated.
You did. So what was the best one? Or are you saying that was the best and your favorite?
That was my favorite. The best was probably like Dedication, one of them dedications. Dedication 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whichever one.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Yeah, he has too many to name. To be honest with you, I don't even remember all his mixtapes. I don't. Not off the top of my head. Hell no.
I don't either, but I do remember listening to all of them.
Of course. Let's move on, because the Wayne talk is over. Shall we start the episode with the albums?
I believe so.
Let's do it. So, with the first album on our Watch the Throne segment, we got Big Sean, aka Boy, the boy, with his new album called Detroit 2. And yes, I had to pause because I didn't know the name. I forgot it off the top right there. But Q, what'd you think of the album, man?
Jeez, that was the definition of a ill-advised moment right there. If we're ever going to end up on Cinemax with our own show, you got to get these damn album names right.
Well, first and foremost,
get it right or pay the price, douchebag.
I'm sticking true to the name of the show, so F you.
Okay, yeah, yes.
Sir. I'm ill-advised, stupid.
Yes,
what'd you think of the album?
Yes, sir. Where do I start with this Big Sean Detroit 2 album? Which is an album. And the funny thing is, people are like, when was Detroit 1? Like, when did that come out? Detroit 1 was actually a mixtape. So I like the trend of people naming their new album off of a mixtape. Kind of like DS2, DS1 was a mixtape, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, Detroit 2 was highly anticipated, and I believe it lived up to expectations. Matter of fact, I can argue with you that it exceeded expectations. Big Sean's a very emotional rapper. He is a very good rapper. And he is someone that knows exactly what he needs to do to succeed. Well, one thing changed from the three things that I said. On Detroit 2, he's very emotional still. He's still very good at rapping, but he put himself in uncomfortable situations. Do you know how many times I talk about on this show the difference between me saying an album is good and me saying an album is great is the fearlessness that a rapper shows on that album, the chances a rapper is willing to take on the album, and did the rapper try and put themselves in uncomfortable situations? Big Sean did all three things that I just mentioned. And I know you're going to ask me, give me examples of him putting himself in uncomfortable situations and him experimenting. We can go down the line right now. The album starts with Why Would I Stop? Hard hitting joint. Then it goes to this dynamic ass song called Lucky Me, in which the first portion is slowed down, soulful, and then the second portion is just hard hitting. From there, deep reverence, soulful, hard hitting, Wolves, different commercial hit, body language, R&B hit, Harder Than My Demons, hard hitting, soulful hit, everything that's missing, tough hit, ZTFO club hit, guard your heart, introspective, Black Lives Matter hit. Literally every single type of hit a hip hop person can make, Big Sean made it. He switched his persona over and over again. He switched his styles of rapping over and over again. He switched his flows all over again. And he had so many different topics that he talked about throughout the album. It was literally Big Sean giving you all of him on an album. And it's something that we need to appreciate. And for me, as somebody who has historically given albums B's, B pluses, A minuses, I'm prepared to say that this Big Sean album is A album. It's an A. It's an A. Now, is every song great? I don't think every song is great, no. But I do think that every single song took time to make, and every single song you got the best version of Big Sean, even if it was a version of Big Sean that's not necessarily keen to what he was trying to do on the song. So I think it's a great album, and I'm curious to see what you think.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I think your grade is correct, but I think I'm gonna a call back to last episode. You remember your opening remarks about Vic Mensa and how you were talking about how you normally don't like to get into whatever you say. You know what I'm talking about. You normally don't like to get into people's blah, 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 right? Whatever that they got going on in real life. Well, I'm here to tell you that Big Sean is a perfect example of why you need to, not you, but in order to really understand why this album is good and really good, is to understand where Big Sean has been for the last few years, right? Because if you listen to his lyrics, he tells you, like point blank, the man is giving you the story of his life over the last few years. He's telling you all the battles he had with depression, anxiety. He's telling you about why, I've been confused historically, like growing up, why they never taught me this in school, and how he never learned how to deal with all of this stuff. And you get to, and I'm fast forwarding and abbreviating because you said a whole lot of stuff that I don't want to repeat. But the point is, you get to this album and you fast forward it and you say, Big Sean seems like he is at peace with where he is today, what he learned over the last few years. It seems like he's found himself. It kind of reminds me of Wale's last album. Like, remember Wale's last album called Wow, That's Crazy, even though that's a weird title for an album. But the point is, we talk a lot about how artists, they're confused. And Wale has a different issue. Musically, he tends to be all over the place. But last album, he really found himself musically. But I think it's bigger than that. He found himself in real life, it seems. I think that's where Big Sean is. And I'm saying that because of what Big Sean said in his lyrics. And so when I start getting into the music and the actual songs themselves, Deep Reverence was the one that he dropped before the album came out. I thought was incredible, honestly. Like, I mean, the amount of introspection, the amount of things that he said in his long ass verse was some shit that they should be writing in a novel. It should be in Big Sean's autobiography. What all the stuff that he said, he outlined a whole bunch. And of course, Nipsey feature was great. Not because Nipsey's not here, but because it was a pretty good feature, pretty good addition. So before I continue the praise, I do want to point out some songs that I just think were just super random and didn't really fit on this album. Number one, Wolves with Post Malone. I just don't really like that song. And I have to point that out because majority of the songs I love, but I do want to just point out there's some songs that were just misses to me. Like, it was just like, well, I don't get it. I'm not sure if I'm going to listen to this song ever again. That was one of them. The other song was the joint with Young Thug. I didn't think that was that good of a song. It's called Respect It. At the end, Big Sean started snapping, started getting into his, like, he switched his flow. He started getting into a different type of bag. Big Sean doing his thing with the lyrics and the flow, which was all throughout this album. Those were the only two songs that I can honestly say I did not enjoy, because if we're really getting into Lucky Me, he started talking about his personal life and how he had heart issues growing up and how his mom took him to see a holistic doctor and they prescribed him magnesium instead of, like, it was a deep ass story that he was getting into, right? Didn't know any of this stuff. Dope ass song. Like I said, Deep Reverence was dope. Harder Than My Demons. I did not like that song before the album dropped. He released that as the second single a week ago. I was like, I don't really see what this is doing. When I listened to that song in the flow of the album, I was like, okay. I think I get it. I get it.
In the flow of the album, that is easily one of the best songs on the album.
It is in the flow of the album,
one of the best songs on the album.
And so that's the tricky part, right? Like, because how is it that, well, it is, of course, my opinion, I did not understand the direction of that song, but within the flow of the album, I can legitimately say I completely did a 180 on that song. I will openly acknowledge that. That song is dope. I really like it. Some other songs that stood out to me, number one was Guard Your Heart. Love that joint. Love that song.
Fantastic song.
Unbelievable song, for real. Like, dude, that song is on repeat. Another joint that I really like is the Full Circle joint with Diddy and Key Wayne. That's a tight song. I like the song Feed. I like The Baddest. I like a lot of this. Honestly, with the exception of those two songs that I mentioned before, this album is so complete and so dynamic that Big Sean, he exceeded expectations to me. I knew this album was going to be really good. I could just feel it. I could just tell. And with the fact that he went away for so long and came back and really dropped this, Detroit 2, I got to give Big Sean credit, man, because he really delivered on this joint. Really delivered.
I'm going to say something to America.
Really delivered.
I'm going to say something to America right now. We continue to talk about best rappers in the game. And I'm putting myself into it too. Me, you, Ooch, everybody. We always give praise to Kendrick Lamar. We always give praise to J. Cole. We always give praise to who else? That's young. Drake. We always give praise to all these other guys. What is it about Big Sean that makes him not as good, or if not better than them? Like, I enjoy myself listening to Big Sean rap more than I enjoy myself listening to a bunch of other people rap. I can honestly say I enjoy myself listening to Big Sean rap more than Kendrick. Facts. I don't want that to me is not even debatable. He is a more enjoyable rapper, and I think he is capable of doing more things than Kendrick. But never do we ever put him regarded as one of the best rappers. And not even one person. I've never heard one person say he's one of the best.
So I have to interject here because while I agree with the enjoyable part, he's more enjoyable than Kendrick. He is not. You said he does more than Kendrick. I would disagree with that 100%.
I think he does more.
Would 100% disagree. More. Dude, to Pimp a Butterfly, to go from that to what he did on Dance, bro, I'm talking about musically.
That's what I said, not musically. I'm saying rapper. I said rapper.
So
rapper.
You mean like switching flows
rapping,
and
just being able to rap. Just being able to, like, just rapping. Rapping wise, not necessarily musically.
I'll give you this. I'll give you that. And if you're stopping there, I'm with you. If you say anything above that, I gotta completely disagree.
And I'm not gonna sit here. And sorry, I'm not gonna say. That's just to clarify. I know a lot of people are going to be like, "What is he talking about?" Blah 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 blah. Just to clarify, I think Big Sean's an A rapper. I think Kendrick is an A rapper. J. Cole is an A rapper. These are all A's. It's just a matter of, like, why do we never hear Big Sean is the best rapper out in the game right now?
Let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something. I'm glad you're bringing this point up. Point blank. I'm going to give you props for this because this has been weighing heavy on me for years. When he dropped I Decided, right? Not the most over lyrical album. You know, he didn't really do, he actually experimented on that album musically, I thought. He did a whole lot of things differently. He played with melodies, yada, yada, yada. This is on the heels of his 2088 with Jhené Aiko. Anyway, I have been feeling like Big Sean has been one of the best for a while. And you're right. Nobody gives him that credit. I don't know why, but if I had to guess, I think it's because he doesn't really come out and try to establish his dominance and try to tell people I am one of the best. If you listen to this new album, Detroit 2, he tells you, the listener, I am one of the best here, period. Like, put me in that conversation. If you didn't think I was in that conversation, you're stupid, because listen to the man rap, and it's obvious you have to give that man more credit. Big Sean is one of the dopest. He's been one of the dopest for a long time. And that's point blank. We talk about Kendrick. We talk about J. Cole. We talk about Drake. Those are the three. Big Sean and Wale have been in that same class.
Okay, no.
Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. Words matter. Words matter. These guys came out at the same time. They're in the same class. It's kind of like XXL, right? XXL Freshman, they're all in the same class. But we just sat here and said that Polo G is the best out of that class. So I'm not saying he's on the same level as Kendrick. I'm not saying he's on the same level as J. Cole as a rapper. I'm saying he's in the same class. So go ahead and fall over and act like you don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But if you don't, clearly you don't understand how to judge rappers. Like, what are you talking about?
So you mean you're not okay? Thank God. So you're not saying that they're all one. Like you're not saying that Wale. Because what I'm trying to say is,
wait, hold on. Wait, no, clear. Hold on. Let me make sure you understand what I'm saying.
I was about to say what you said. I said,
okay, go ahead.
I said what I was trying to say. What I was trying to say was, what I want to say is, Big Sean, Kendrick, Drake, and J. Cole are all A rappers. They're all one. Now, if you want to say Wale is like 1A, 1B, maybe. Like maybe 1A, 1B, maybe. Chance the Rapper, 1A, 1B. But I don't see why Big Sean is not number one with all the rest of those number ones.
He's not. He's not up there. To me, he's not with Kendrick. And I say that respectfully because I love Big Sean. He's not on Kendrick's level. I'll be honest. And I'm more of a Big Sean.
Why?
I am more of a Big Sean fan than I am. I'll tell you why. I'll break it.
We ain't talking musically. We're not talking
music.
Bro,
I will break it down. I will break it down for you at every level.
Rappers.
I will break it down at every level for you. Okay? All you're doing right now, you see, what you're doing is you're doing what people say about Eminem. You're
like gaslighting?
No. No, when people bring up Eminem and say Eminem is a top 5 rapper, but then the only thing they have to argue is the fact that he raps really well. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Hold on.
Not me.
Hey, hang on. I'm not done. What I'm saying is you're attempting to at least try to enter into that type of argument I'm seeing, because you're only highlighting his rapping ability, whatever that means. Like his rap, you're saying his rapping. But you have to acknowledge all of the other aspects of what goes along with the raps. What about the musicality? What about the variance in production? What about the ability to make all types of different conscious songs, upbeat songs, shit that party songs, shit that really means something, shit that's lighthearted? Kendrick is by far more dynamic, and therefore I put him above Sean. I am not saying that Sean is not amazing, though. That is why I'm saying Kendrick Lamar is above Big Sean. That's why I'm saying that. Because let's be clear. Going back to my Eminem argument, Eminem is one of the greatest lyricists, one of the greatest rappers putting words together to ever rap. You know why he's not part of my top 5 or top 10? I don't even put Eminem in top 10. I don't. Because he is not better at all of the other shit that goes along with just rapping.
So essentially, what
you gotta do more than just be rapping well. Come on.
So essentially, what you're saying is, Eminem is not one of the best rappers in the game because he don't know how to sing. I mean, that's essentially. I mean, essentially, that's a stretch. What? It's a stretch, but you're essentially saying, Eminem.
How did you get that?
Eminem is one of the now. Here's the thing. Eminem, lyricist, somebody who can toy with a whole bunch of different flows. Eminem is top notch. Like Eminem is top 5 when it comes to lyricists. But when it comes to making a rap song, Eminem's not in my top 5 either. Not in my top 10. Maybe not even.
Can we
top
listen?
10.
Can we cut cut the shenanigans? I'm sick of y'all moving the goalposts. This is what y'all do. Y'all say y'all separate. I'm sick of y'all moving the goalpost. Y'all always trying to distinguish. Better lyricist from better rapper. What does rapper mean? But no, who is a better rapper?
And I'm about to
includes everything.
Let me explain it, fool. Let me explain.
Jesus Christ.
You didn't even let me tell you why I think Big Sean before I can even tell you why I think Big Sean's better.
Big Sean's not better than Kendrick. It's obvious. All right. But go ahead.
I mean, sorry. I didn't even say he
was
better. I actually did not even say he was better. I was saying there's no reason to say that Kendrick or J. Cole is definitively better than Big Sean. That is my argument. I never said somebody's better than the other. I'm saying I enjoy Big Sean. That's what I said. I enjoy Big Sean more.
You said that, which is different. That's
a.
I'm never going to argue with somebody saying I enjoy someone. That's not what I'm arguing. We ain't talking about that.
But what I am saying is somebody can legitimately argue, and they would be right. Like Big Sean is the best rapper in the game. Like somebody can legitimately argue because Big Sean, to me, go down the line. When it comes to wordplay, Big Sean's top notch. When it comes to punchlines, Big Sean is probably in that group the best at punchlines. His punchlines are top notch. When it comes to flows, Big Sean can flow his ass off. When it comes to Big Sean has party songs. Big Sean has the songs that are vulnerable. Big Sean has the joints that are in between. Big Sean has rapped and went against Kendrick Lamar on Control. Big Sean has done everything Kendrick has done. Now, what I said was there's certain things Kendrick is better than Big Sean at, and there's better things that Big Sean is better at Kendrick at. So if you really actually looking at the two resumes and what they do, the two skills, they're actually pretty close. Assuming Kendrick is better. I think J. Cole is better than both. But,
listen. I'm not here to disagree with that statement. Not one time do I disagree with that statement. And so if this is just simply a conversation to say, why is Big Sean not in the conversation? He should be. There's no excuse for Big Sean. I'll make myself very clear. There is no excuse for Big Sean to not be in the conversation. Right? I think that's essentially what you're saying.
Yes. There's no excuse for you to not call him one of the best rapper, actually.
But that's debatable. Like what I'm trying to make the distinction of, and we can move on because we deep dive on this, but this is good. This is a good combo. All I'm trying to simply say is, I think what is not debatable is you saying that he is in the conversation. That's not debatable. If you make that argument, if anybody says that, they're not wrong because of everything you just outlined. He does that, he does that, he does all the stuff, right? Everything you just mentioned. He does everything that you mentioned at the highest level. Where it gets a little dicey and where it starts getting as a matter of opinion, which is where people start going this way, that way, is when you start saying who's the best. That's a different combo to me, personally. So it sounds like that's where we disagree. Because you're saying, it sounds like you're saying he is arguably the best. That's what you said.
So what I'm saying is, okay, listen to me carefully.
And I don't think he is the best.
Listen to me carefully. Listen to me carefully, right? When you
Not
got
arguing that.
Okay, when you got, let's say you got two teams, right? You got two NBA teams, Los Angeles Lakers, Milwaukee Bucks. What I'm trying to tell you is they both have the identical records. That's how I see Big Sean and Kendrick Lamar. Big Sean, Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole. When it comes to rapping ability, rapping skills as a rapper, they all are like at the same records, 60 and 22. Let's say something like that. So what I'm saying is, you, instead of claiming Big Sean can't do this, Big Sean can't do that, I don't think you can say that about Big Sean. I don't think so. So now when you compare the two, Kendrick and Big Sean, I think it's a matter of preference. Who do you prefer? Because there's not, oh, Big Sean can't do this, or, oh, Big Sean's not good at that. He's good at everything as a rapper. Only thing that I would say is his voice is dull. That is the only possible indictment. But that to me, that's not fair. That's to me, I wouldn't put that against him. Count that against him.
It's a matter of preference, right?
Preference. That's preference.
So let me ask you
something. Nothing Big Sean doesn't do at the same level as every other rapper that we just mentioned. There's nothing he doesn't do that is lower than anything of those rappers mentioned.
So I don't know how this conversation became Big Sean versus Kendrick, because I think I just heard you say that you think J. Cole,
didn't they say they beefed, right? And Big Sean on no interview said, I'm not impressed with the rapping fast, and people thought it was about Kendrick. This is close. Yep. At least in his head.
Well, no. I'm not talking about, like, I'm talking about me and you. I don't know how we started arguing who's better between the two. That's not even where I was going, because it sounded like you were saying J. Cole is better than both of them, which is a whole nother debate. And I 100% agree with that.
My humbling opinion.
I 100% agree with that. So without having another 3-hour long convo, let's just end on the fact that this was a fucking really, really, really good album. And to me, I would give this about an A as well. This is a great album. Great album. He did better than I thought he was gonna do. That's the crazy part.
He did better.
So man.
Keep it moving.
Let's do that.
And the polar opposite is coming up next. The polar opposite of everything we talked about. Your boy 6ix9ine dropped TattleTales, a new album. What did you think about it, sir?
Oh, man. You know what, man?
We need to fire our intern for putting these two back to back. How you go from an A to an F?
I'm here to just be 100% honest with you guys. Like, 100% honest, and it does not pain me to say what I'm about to say. As a matter of fact, I feel very good about what I'm about to say. And it's simple. It's simply this: 6ix9ine is bad for music. He's bad for hip hop. He's a fraud. He's a lazy artist. He has no talent. He doesn't do anything well as an artist. And I'm sick and tired of where we have gotten, where we have arrived at the 6ix9ine conversation. For the purposes of this review for this album, I'm gonna put the whole snitching shit aside because I don't even want to talk about that anymore. I just don't. I don't want to talk about that shit. Let's just assess the music, guys. Let's just assess the music. That's what I'm here to do. I'm just here to talk about the music. How in God's name can we consider this album good? I ask you guys this. The reason I ask you guys this simple question is because, and I may be talking to some 6ix9ine fans. Hey, and so bear with me. I may insult you. I'm sorry. The man has no talent. I'm sorry. He literally has no originality. Every single one of his songs are just simply plug and play lyrics. Like, he says the same stuff over and over again. Like, just songs that mean absolutely nothing. And while I am not here to think highly of 6ix9ine's lyrics, he's not Kendrick Lamar. He's not any of the people we just talked about. You'll never hear me mistake anybody we just talked about for 6ix9ine. And so my ceiling for 6ix9ine is extremely low. I don't expect anything from him. But isn't it ironic that after the whole snitching thing, his music completely took another direction? Like, if you guys remember the music he was putting out before he got in trouble, it was like pretty aggressive. You know, it was like hardcore. He was shouting way more. He was actually turning up in a way in which we haven't really heard anybody really turn up and, you know, turn up for or turn up like. And so if there was any ounce of originality that 6ix9ine brought to the table or from in the beginning, it was simply his energy. It was his energy. He gave us none of that this time around. It's all melody, weak ass melodies, you know, auto tunes that just sounded awful. It sounded poorly mixed. I am like here to just tell you guys, we need to petition 6ix9ine being removed and banned from the genre of music because low quality music like this should not be acceptable. This is unacceptable music. It's unacceptable. And I'm sick of us as a public making it seem like shit like this belongs. It does not belong here. This album is beyond an F. This album is incomplete. I don't even really want to even grade this shit. If it wasn't for this show, I wouldn't even give a grade for it. I'm never listening to this album again. And 6ix9ine, please, like, if I had any wish, it would be for him to go into witness protection so that we don't have to hear music from this man again. This shit was bad. Dumpster juice, bad. And that's all I have to say, man.
That was harsh. That was harsh. What?
This album pissed me off, man. This album pissed me off.
USA. USA.
Puerto Rico. Nah, dog. Like I'm telling you, this shit. Like I'm sorry, man. And you know, listen. If I went overboard, so be it. I don't give a fuck. This album is annoying as fuck. What'd you think of this joint?
I thought it was great. AOTY, dog. AOTY. Atrociousness of the year. I mean, let's be real. I mean, I when I figured out it was going to drop, I knew it was going to be trash. I knew his last album was trash. Probably better than this one, but I knew it was going to be trash. And I knew it was going to be a lot of trolling, which yes, happened. I knew he was going to be using both his outside inside voice. And you know what? You know what's funny? When I first found out that 6ix9ine was interested in making reggaeton songs, I thought that was tight. I was like, how can this dude go from like a screamer that makes like high octane club joints to like reggaeton joints? Like, that's so tight. This time around, the reggaeton joints were just flat, predictable. Like, skip next. You know, the energy was kind of off. The lyrics were god awful. We all know that. Like, even with Trolls, you know, when we found out that he collaborated with Nicki Minaj for Fifi, we're like, whoa, he collaborated with Nicki Minaj, 2 major artists now coming together. That sounds so tight. Tekashi's winning. He did the exact same thing for Trolls, and it's just like predictable. You know, so not only is he a bad rapper, bad singer, but he's now predictable in every kind of way. Like, even his internet trolling is predictable. It's at this point, I'm too old for this nonsense. And I'm not saying I'm too old, but like, anybody over the age of 16 is too old for this nonsense. Music should never be made based off antics. This is music being made off of antics. But Tekashi 6ix9ine, horrible album, but I do want to say something. And what made me the maddest, what the hell was Akon doing? The 2 songs Akon was on were literally the worst songs I ever heard in my life. Locked Up 2 was so bad, I deleted Locked Up 1 from my library. It's tarnished.
No, you can't do that.
It's tarnished. I don't want to hear. Okay,
Styles P's verse is legendary. That's a legendary verse.
I love Locked Up.
I can't get that. I can't get that verse out of my head. That will forever be up there. No, you don't do that to
5 stars.
Don't do that to Locked Up #1.
Locked Up is a 5-star song. 5-star song. That trash they put out. How do I have Locked Up 1 as 5 stars? Locked Up 2 is 0 stars. And
it's the same song.
It's the same song with some crappy ass vocal, and the quality is so bad. Matter of fact, they took Akon's. I'm pretty sure they took Akon's vocals from the first one, and they didn't even take it in a tasteful way. They probably used like a cheap ass free sound editor. Like, it was so. And then the second song that he was on was so bad. That was the worst song on the album. That was a horrible song.
You talking about the Leah or some shit?
Yeah.
Like that? That was the worst song.
Horrible song.
I couldn't believe how bad it was.
I lost respect.
Couldn't believe it.
Like I lost a little respect for Nicki Minaj, not because she's, you know, I don't care. You can do a song with Elmo. I don't care like who you do the song with. I lose respect because it's gimmicky. It kind of shows me that you just are willing to do whatever you want to get success and be relevant. That's dumb to me. That was gimmicky. That's why I lose respect for her. It's not because it's 6ix9ine. I lost so much respect for Akon. So much respect. And once again, it's not the fact that he worked with Tekashi. It's more so, what the hell are you doing? Like, that's some thirsty. That's some, you know what that's equivalent to? Akon, your career went that bad that you're willing to do something similar to like artists that would just hop on random ass songs on YouTube that you'll see. You know, remember back in the day when people would be like, oh, new song featuring Jay-Z, Travis Scott, Kanye West, and then you click on the song, it's just a random person. That is the same level of shameful, I feel.
That's what well, that's what Soulja Boy started that shit on LimeWire. But no, you know what I would equate what Akon did on this album? What Akon did on this joint was no different than what a IG model does, where they take off their clothes and they're literally just doing it for the likes. Like they're clout chasing for the grant. Like this was some attention seeking shit because he knew ears were gonna be on it. Hey, let's create a moment. The moment was whack as fuck though.
It was so whack.
This is a whack moment. Like why would he, dude? Hey, on a serious note, Akon is doing some legendary shit in Africa. I'm sorry. I gotta give Akon props on the business side and for what he's doing from a humanitarian standpoint. What he did on this album it's putting that in jeopardy. I am about to be looking at Akon differently after what he did on this album. That's how bad it was. I'm now questioning his morals. Like, what the fuck? So you just doing anything for $1, huh? Everything's just
that's
for money,
what it feels like. That's what that's what this album was just full of. And it's in a serious note, like from based off of what you said and the rant that you went on, like hip hop cannot go this direction. It cannot go this. That is really bad. That is really, really bad. Like,
I'm still annoyed, man. Can we just move on? Because I'm getting more upset.
At this point, government has to get involved. Government has to get involved.
I need a bill from the Democrats to eliminate 6ix9ine from the music industry ASAP.
My man, look, I finished my review on Ratings Game. Go ahead and read it. It's a pretty good review. Getting a lot of views. I finished my review by saying this: that man has no business by a mic. Just like I have no business by a strip club these days. He has no business by a mic. Point blank, period. No business near a mic. Matter of fact, mics should have restraining orders against 6ix9ine. No business.
God.
I can see the pain in your face.
I'm done.
I can see the pain in your face as a music lover. This guy's a music lover. Uch had Zune. He had Zune. For God's sakes, he had Zune. He doesn't deserve this. That's how much he's loved music.
Hey. Watch your tone when you speak about Zune. Just watch your tone.
Uch told me the other day that he was hoping Windows Media Player will make a comeback. That's how much of a music fan he is.
No.
QuickTime.
If QuickTime comes back, that's what I'm gonna say. If QuickTime comes back, we in business then. We in business.
Oh man. Sad.
Yeah, man. I wanna move on, man, because this is depressing. That's depressing. I'm never hearing that again, and I hope I never even run across it. But yeah, let's move on.
Akon.
Next.
As an African.
Fan. Let's not get into. Can we move on, please? Please.
He's my brother. Oh. He's my brother.
Next album, Jaden Smith, also known as Jaden. He dropped this new album called Cool Tapes Volume 3. What'd you think of this, man? And let's be brief, because we got a whole lot of stuff to talk about.
See that smile? I'm just waiting for Jaden to take over Drake's spot, man. That's it. Just waiting. Drake, go ahead and retire. Let your predecessor take over. Jaden, or your successor take over. Jaden is the truth and a half. Jaden is so talented, so good at what he does. And what does he do? It's just being cool. On Cool Tapes Volume 3, which is kind of weird, right? The thing is called CTV 3, and then he actually says Cool Tapes Volume 3. So, usually you don't put the abbreviation and then what the abbreviation is. But anyway, sorry, I'm a nitpicker. I notice things. I have a problem. On this album, Jaden switches between hard-hitting rapper, super duper lyricist, old school singer, like I'm talking old school, like 1970s singer, Lil Uzi Vert type rapper, heartbreak kid, vulnerable kid, somebody that cares about humanity. It's a very dynamic body of work. I thought it was a little too dynamic. Personally, the grade I would give it as a C+, but I just wanted to point out a couple songs that really stood out to me. I didn't like the song with Justin Bieber, but that's me personally. But the uniqueness of it, I thought was pretty special. I love Rainbow Bop. We talked about that, I believe, on one of the shows, the episodes. I think that's a fantastic song. The rapping on that song. There's no reason you don't put Jaden Smith as one of the best rappers that are out right now with Big Sean, Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, Jaden Smith. Just based off that song, because I thought he killed that song. But that's just kind of a joke. And you know another song I really loved? Boys and Girls. Boys and Girls, I actually called it the best song on the album. For you guys that didn't listen to the album, Boys and Girls is literally the last song on the album. And on the song, it's kind of like you get a kids choir on there, and Jaden is pretty much hyping up the kids of today and letting the world know that don't limit the kids of today. Don't shoot the kids of today. Like, these are our future, and they are important for how we move forward. But all in all, I thought the album was okay. A little too experimental, just like his last album. I thought he was just trying a little too hard, trying to do too many different things. I get it. He's seriously talented, and I will continue to say this. If he can just like turn it down a little bit. Sometimes you can have a Maserati that goes 170 miles per hour, but that doesn't mean you always have to drive at 170 miles per hour. The capability of it going 170 miles per hour is great, but sometimes you got to drive that fast-ass car at like 90 miles an hour, 80 miles an hour. I think Jaden needs to take his mentality to making music down to like 80, 90 miles an hour, because I believe he's at like 150. But that's my takeaway.
That's a good takeaway. I'll be brief because you said a lot. And I'm here to let you guys know that Jaden is coming for you guys next. I'm talking about you rappers, you artists who don't know that he is this talented. Like you said, very dynamic dude, man. Like he's one of those new age artists that, like, when we talk about, you really can't put them in a box. Like, you don't really know who they are or what they do the best, because they do so many different things. He is the epitome of that. Hey, man, he said it on Rainbow Rap, sorry. He said he's still the saddest dude up in the game. I do believe he is coming for Drake's heartbreak crown. He's taking it to a whole nother level, man. I'm with this Jaden, though. See, you didn't like it. You said he was doing too much. I want this. Like, I want him to double down on this experimental aspect and keep going, because he's pushing the envelope musically. He's actually upping the bar as far as what is acceptable, what is called hip hop, what is R&B. Like, he's really pushing the envelope. And so from that standpoint, I love it. I love this album. I give this album a B. This is a really good album. Not more I need to say about this, man. Let's keep it pushing.
Next album that we have, and it's the last one. It is your boy Rich Brian. He dropped a new album, or actually an EP, about 7-8 tracks on there, called 1999. Real quickly, what do you think about it?
Yeah, man. Rich Chigga. I'm still curious as to why he switched his name. Is it really because of the whole nigga? Is it really because of the nigga? Come on, man.
If he wanted to sell records, he could not go forward with that name.
Rich Chigga sounds way better than Rich Brian. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it honest, man. Like, Rich Chigga sounds pretty dope, even though he was disrespecting black people and you and I with that, right? So I get it. I'll say this about Rich Brian, man, because he has come a long way musically. To me, I was introduced to his music almost as if it was a joke. I had a coworker I used to work with. She knew that I did a podcast, and she was like, "Yo, you guys should review Rich Chigga." I literally thought she was joking. I was like, "What the fuck is a Rich Chigga?" I heard one album, I saw what he looked like, and I was like, "There's no way this is good. There's no way I don't even want to listen to this. There's no way." Come to find out, I have really liked a few Rich Brian songs over the years, leading up until this album, 1999, where I think he took a little bit more of a musical approach to this album because he really started singing a little bit, introducing melodies, harmonies, really started getting into his quote unquote pop bag. Sounded really good. I'll say that. He like if he's going to be making music like this, I think I'm all for this type of music from him. Cuz he can actually rap, guys. I know he doesn't look like he can, but if you actually listen to him, he's pretty damn good. Overall, short project, pretty good. I'll give it about a B-. I think it could be better. I think I could use a full-length project from Rich Brian with this type of music on it. I'm here for this, man. What do you think it is?
I give it about a B- myself. What's funny? I'm gonna say this real quick. What Rich Chigga did, right? He started off. Listen to this. This is gonna blow your mind. Rich Chigga actually started off as a YouTube comedian. Like, I'm sure his name was derived as like kind of a joke, right? As a comedian making little funny videos on YouTube, right? He then morphed into a hard-hitting rapper, right? So after he turned into a hard-hitting rapper, he dropped a couple hard-hitting rap joints, punchlines galore, great deliveries, great flows, and all that. He's now morphed into a guy that really relies on melodies, relies on vibes, feels, and this EP was kind of that transition. There is another artist, musician, celebrity that we all know that took a very similar path to their music career. You know who that is? Childish Gambino. Childish Gambino started out as somebody that was on a television show as a comedian, not quite YouTube. Childish Gambino came out as a MC, punchline heavy rapper, some dude that was knock your head off rapping wise, and he morphed with Kawhi or Kawi, however you pronounce it. Kind of threw me off guard. I was like, this guy that's a hard-hitting rapper is now singing, and that's with melodies. I have reason to believe that 1999 is Rich Brian's Kawi. That's Rich Brian's Kawi. Kawi was a EP with all melodic joints. This is similar. And even if you are a semblance of what Childish Gambino has turned into, which Childish Gambino has turned into one of the most important hip-hop figures today, if you are even a semblance of what Childish Gambino is, then Rich Brian's future is bright. Rich Brian's going to be really rich in a few more years. So
no, you think?
My takeaway.
You think? I think he I think he called it. He called it with the rich in his name. No, this shit is dope though. I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed the music on this.
You guys go back and listen to Childish Gambino's Kawhi album.
It's funny. Kawhi, it's funny you brought that album up, or EP, mixtape, whatever that shit was. Came out 2014, right? Like you said. Mm-hmm. That's really when I started respecting Childish Gambino as an artist.
Me too.
I vividly remember, even if you guys, I don't know if you guys are this hip, Jaden Smith was on that album.
Smith was all over that.
He was all throughout it, through the skits. So, yeah, man, it's not a coincidence that you brought his name into, we just talked about Jaden Smith and his versatility. We're talking about another guy who's making a transition, being more versatile as an artist, and Rich Brian.
And going far left.
It seems like that is the tone of the albums we talked about today, minus 6ix9ine. But I think that's it, man. We got more music to talk about, but those are some good albums that I think came out, man.
I think so. For my not ill-advised thoughts. Sorry. For my ill and not so advised. Thank you so much, America.
I'm not part of that. I didn't help, but okay.
Here is the songs that I advise, and mine is always more important than the next person's. and the next person is this guy. Number one, SZA and Ty Dolla $ign hit different. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention on Twitter or things just like Twitter, but SZA was actually in a little bit of a social media skirmish with her label, TDE. Somebody asked her when she was coming out with new music. She said pretty much it's not up to me, it's up to the label. And I think the person responded with like some type of sad emoji or something like that. And SZA pretty much said, yeah, I'm held captive. They're not letting me come out with music. Ironically or coincidentally or whatever you want to call it, Hit Different released 2 weeks later. And it's fantastic. You know, in this wave of all these new R&B singers like Summer Walker, Janae Aiko, I've always said there's something different, something that ironically hits different about SZA and her music. I don't know. She's unique. She's special. And on this particular song, I think she just literally does something that's hypnotizing. Like the melodies that she gives us with are hypnotizing. Her singing is fantastic. The chemistry her and Ty Dolla $ign show on the song is great. And then I love the vibes attached to the record. Overall, I fell in love with SZA once again after hearing Hit Different. And I want to point out, I was never one to say SZA was the most sexiest person in the world. It wasn't me. I think she's obviously a beautiful black woman. But on the music video to Hit Different, did y'all see SZA in like scantily dressed SZA?
Hey, I'm sorry. Sorry to interrupt, sir. Yeah, that would have been me. I've been talking about SZA and her beautiful aura for quite some time now. But, you know, go ahead. Continue.
She's a beautiful black woman, and I thought she really, really showed off her promiscuous, sexy side on the video to Hit Different. So a lot of things I like about that record, a lot of things I like about that music video. Second song I want to talk about, which was embroiled in controversy, was 42 Doug and Marshmello, their Baggin' song. You wanted to talk about that, I'm guessing. That's why I try to beat you to the punch. I knew you would talk about these two songs.
Oh, God.
That song is dope. Do you know what I'm starting to realize? Marshmello is elevating a lot of these up-and-coming trap rappers, which I would call 42 Doug. Like, if you're on a Marshmello song early on, I think that just elevates you to the world. I do think 42 Doug has next. And in this Baggin' song, I think he shows why he's unique, why he's different from all the trap rappers that you hear on a daily basis. And then he also shows an uncanny ability to just be appealing. Sometimes that's it. Sometimes you just gotta be an appealing rapper. He's very appealing on this song. And I know you're asking me what's the controversy with this song. Let's just put it this way. On an old version of this song, he said he'll do some strange stuff to pay the rent. I never actually listened to the clip of him saying it back then. But then while I was listening to this Baggin' song, that line came up again, but the words were a little switched. He said, you were doing strange things for the rent. And I was over here. No, he said you were doing strange things. You were doing disgusting things. That's who he's saying his girl was doing. While I was simply trying to pay the rent. So he switched the words up a little bit. You guys can figure out what the hell happened there. I'm here to tell you that 42 Doug and Marshmello's Baggin' is a pretty dope song. The last song I want to talk about, it was a toss-up. I had two songs, but I think this one beat the other one out, is Rocky Fresh, Wale, and Aaron Ray. They dropped a song called Hold On. To me, that was a fantastic R&B, hip-hop, rap joint. Fantastic. I think Rocky Fresh is pretty slept on. Something about his kind of like laid back style of rapping. When you put him on like a R&B sounding record, it always sounds really good. Wale on R&B records sounds fantastic. That's when he gets his superpowers. And Aaron Ray, a guy that I think is very underrated. He, does work, gives us with a nice hook, great melodies. Hold On is a really good song that I'm pretty sure you guys are not going to appreciate. So, to my not so advised, can we talk about Trenches with Monica and Lil Baby? I mean, I thought it was genius. As you guys may know, Brandy and Monica were supposed to be doing a versus battle. They did the versus battle and everything, which, by the way, that was actually the most watched versus battle. Kamala Harris, for goodness sake, tuned into that versus battle. That was the most. After all the great big name people that did the versus battle, those two garnered the most viewers. That is very interesting. But Monica and Lil Baby dropped a song called Trenches right before that versus battle. And the song actually was produced by the Neptunes. And it was trash. It was bad. Like, Monica just kind of seemed out of touch. You knew it was going to be bad because it was called Trenches. Monica ain't in no damn trenches. Monica has been a R&B star since 13 years old. She has not seen a trench in years, probably. But the song just sounded off. Things sounded forced. The Neptunes beat sounded just kind of like blah. Lil Baby's verse was forgettable. Like, I thought it was a really good idea, very good marketing scheme, but it just fell flat on its face, man. Those are my songs I want to highlight. Good and bad.
Good list, sir. Good list. Better than last week. That's last episode. I would say that.
Yeah, I'm gonna kick your ass. Don't be talking about my list.
No. It was a good list. However, what I will say is you did talk about the Marshmello and 42 Doug joint. That was on my list. However, it was going to be on my not so advised. I'm not that high on that song. I'm just not. And it's not because of Marshmello. Like, everything you said about Marshmello's influence, right? And how when he gets a hold of a rapper, he usually blows him up. Like he did it with Roddy Ricch, right? Project Dreams, I think that was the name of the song.
Mm-hmm.
First time I had ever heard Roddy Ricch, for real. And I was like, okay, this is it. Yeah, I didn't think the joint with 42 Doug was that dope. I thought it was meh. It's just my opinion. But overall, good list, though. Good list. So for me, I want to highlight a couple joints that caught my ear over the last couple of days to week, whatever you want to call it. Number one is a new joint by T.Y. Savage. By the way, she dropped a new album. Not here to praise the whole album per se, but a song within the album called Save My Life. It's the intro off the album. I thought it was just extremely well put together. Her vocals are incredible. And I noticed that T.Y. Savage is one of those African artists that the masses has seemed to accept. I'll call it like that. She reminds me a lot, and I don't mean musically, but in terms of how the masses are accepting her music, of like Burna Boy. You know how like Burna Boy is like becoming this like household name, and over here making songs with Coldplay, Chris Martin, and it's like whoa, like when did this happen? Like, I mean, we understand these people have been grinding for a minute, but I do like the fact that T.Y. Savage is starting to really get her flowers out here. You know, Beyonce put her on Lion King soundtrack. She's been a part of a whole lot of different collaborations and stuff like that. But nonetheless, T.Y. Savage just dropped a dope album, but that intro was fucking fire. Saved My Life. Y'all got to go check that out. It's pretty dope. Next song I want to highlight is a joint that NBA YoungBoy dropped called All In. Honestly, I don't really know when this joint came out. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. But what I will say is that it seems like this is going to be one of those songs that he puts out on his new album coming out, I believe, next week on September 10 or 11, whatever date it is. And I just really like it, man. You know, I said this on the last episode when we started talking about the album artwork with him and Roddy Ricch. And my observation was less about the fact that the covers look the same, but more about the fact that it feels like this rollout for this album is more geared towards what albums typically get when, you know, a label puts money behind marketing and promotion. And it's the first time I've really seen this with Young Boy. So this song features emotional production, emotional lyrics, Young Boy really getting into his bag of pain, which, you know, he does pretty damn well. And I just really like it. So, again, I am anticipating this Young Boy album. I really am. It's one of them joints that I think is going to surprise people, not only from a record standpoint, album sales standpoint, but also musically. I think he's making better music. So, yeah, all in. Check that out. Next song I want to highlight is a joint by Trippie Redd and Juice WRLD called Blast Off. This was a song that dropped on the Internet Money Before the Storm project that we were going to talk about earlier, but we decided not to. But I really like this song. Trippie Redd on the hook, phenomenal performance, gets into his melody bag. You know, we talked about this earlier in the episode, right? We talk about this all the time about how artists of today are introducing melodies at an astronomical clip. And Trippie Redd is one of them dudes who is probably a leader in that new school class of rappers, artists who you basically use melodies at his pleasure, man. Like, this song is dope, man. And of course, the feature with Juice WRLD was pretty fucking fire. Can't lie, I really like this song. Can't really say a whole lot about the album, the Internet Money album as a whole, but this is one of the joints that I really took away and said, I'm going to add this one to my internal list of songs. Those are my ill list. Now on to some songs that are not so advised. I do want to warn you guys because I'm not here to trash this next song per se, because I love this artist. However, Bryson Tiller just dropped a new joint called Inhale, and he's been away for quite some time, which, you know, he does that pretty often. So I'm not knocking him and his ability to go off and build his family, do all this cute, amazing stuff on the gram. Apparently he's getting married. Shout out to Bryson Tiller. But this new joint that he dropped, I'm not sure about this one. I'm not sure about Inhale. I'm just not. You know, the song sounds lazy to me. It sounds like a song where he really allowed the production to do most of the work for him. And I didn't really feel like his contribution as an artist was enough for me to just think that, you know, he can go away for a couple years and just come back and drop this. Like, it just didn't do enough for me. Maybe it'll grow on me, maybe not. But I'm here to tell you guys, this song is on my not so advised. I think it's average at best, personally. But yeah, that's my list.
Interesting list, in my opinion. I agree with you. That Blast Off song I had that as the second best song on Internet Money's album. Lemonade was not Lemonade.
Lemonade was pretty fucking fire.
Lemonade was tight. Them three. Thrusting, Lemonade,
Future, and Sway Lee, the thrusting joint.
It sounds like unforgettable. Unforgettable.
I like that joint.
And Blast Off was like top three for me. In terms of Bryson Tiller, I 100% agree with you. I mean, I wouldn't. The thing that's tricky is I wouldn't call this song bad.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want to trash it, but I'm saying it's like,
it's literally, you know how you can find the sound. Not remember that. Is it SoundClick where you can get beats and you had the option to get just the instrumental, or you can get the instrumental with the singer? Yeah. I feel like it was the opposite. Like, he got the song with the instrumental with the singer, you know, and just literally put his little vocals and put his little rap verse or whatever on.
That's an interesting analogy.
That's what it
feels. But here's the thing, and I think the reason why you say that is because think about it. If you listen to that song, you didn't hear from Bryson Tiller until about 1:15.
Yeah.
That's unacceptable. I'm sorry. I don't care who you are. Like, come on, man. Like
his part was tight.
What is that?
But his part
no. The production, I think the production was pretty good. His part was tight. However, it just didn't do enough for me. It didn't do enough.
I see. I get that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my list, man.
All right. Yes, and sir, for my ill-advised thought, not dot. I want to talk about somebody that I'm afraid to say, and I'm very scared to say, might be either washed up or a one album wonder. We talked about a lot of rappers in our on this episode. We talked about Drake, talked about Lil Wayne a little bit. We talked about J. Cole. We talked about Big Sean. Talked about Kendrick Lamar. If you're paying attention, there was a rapper that I mentioned that I think is at least 1A, at least one notch above A+ rappers, and that's Chance the Rapper. Before Chance the Rapper came out with anything major, his name was pretty much circling around the whole industry. Everybody knew who Chance the Rapper was. They were like, oh, there's this kid out of Chicago, really talented, very lyrical, very, very like, youthful. The music that he makes is completely different than what you're used to hearing. He has a good aura to him, good vibes to him. And he has next. So he had that mixtape, I believe it was called Acid Rap. People loved it. Then he dropped perhaps one of the best hip-hop albums of all time in Coloring Book to me. In Coloring Book, he showed an uncanny ability to step outside of the box when it came to making hip-hop music, but then at the same time, still capable of making bangers, still capable of making gospel songs, just a wide variety of things. And everything just felt organic. Everything just felt right when that album came out. Since Coloring Book came out, I feel like there's just been a whole bunch of swings and misses by Chance the Rapper. Not only as a rapper, but also on his social media, also on his decision making. After Coloring Book, Chance came out with a whole bunch of different singles, and it just never felt right. Like, I think he came out with a single. There was like 3 or 4 he'll come out with every once in a while, and yeah, you bump it, but something's missing. And for me, I guess I was being naive at the time. I was like, all right, he's just playing around, experimenting. Our favorite rappers and R&B singers, they do that. They just experiment with sounds, but when his album comes out, he's going to be good. And then Chance the Rapper started featuring on songs. Every once in a while, good feature, but all the other times, those bad features. Don't worry. His album will be good. Like, we don't judge Chance the Rapper based off of his singles and what he brings out. Well, his chance to prove everybody wrong with that album that came out, which was called The Big Day. I had to Google it. That should tell you something. I couldn't remember the name of the album. But the album was called The Big Day, came out, and it did not hit. Chance the Rapper tried to do a whole bunch of stuff that he did on Coloring Book. He tried to still be goofy, tried to still be youthful. He recruited somebody from every facet of music. It just didn't hit. That magic wasn't there. Since then, Chance the Rapper has featured on a couple other songs. Chance the Rapper was on a strip club joint that I heard the other day. what happened to Chance the Rapper? What happened to Chance? Was it a matter of his style was catered for that time, 2015, 2016, 2017? Was it a matter of certain views that he had? Like if you remember on Twitter, like he talked about, politics a lot. He talked about how he was he kind of liked what Trump did, and he actually supported Trump in something. He took it back eventually, but he supported Trump, supported Kanye in his presidential bids. Is that something that turned people off? What happened to Chance the Rapper? Is he overrated? How can we fix Chance the Rapper? Can Chance be fixed? At this point in time, I don't know those answers. And I think if Chance doesn't get a chance, ironically, to drop something as good as Coloring Book, I do think that we should start thinking about him as one of the most disappointing rappers to ever hit the scene. And I don't want to. I love Chance. I love him as a human being. I love what he embodies. Love him as a hip hop artist. But I repeat, if Chance doesn't start shelling out hits, albums that are good, he will be looked at as one of the most disappointing hip hop acts to hit the scene. That is my ill-advised thought. Thank you very much.
Very, very interesting take on Chance the Rapper. Yeah, Chance is trending downwards. I will definitely say that. No, he is.
I don't get it.
The hell? Anyway, yeah, dog, he's trending downwards, and I don't know, man. We'll see if he can switch it around. It's tough. It's tough. But nah, I understand the point you're making. I understand the point. We shall see. We shall see. I don't have any more to add on to that other than we shall see. So for me to start off my ill-advised thoughts, I want to just talk about collectives in hip hop. And the fact that sometimes being in a collective can help you when you first start out as a rapper or an artist, but then sometimes it could prove that it doesn't necessarily serve you in any way, shape, or form. I think I'm bringing this topic up because in the news, I'll say that within the last few weeks, we've seen two collectives. One is probably a little bit way more notorious. I ain't even gonna say a little bit, way more notorious, as in the ASAP Mob being a group that's been around for quite a while now. I believe ASAP Rocky first dropped in 2012, 13, something like that. It's been a ASAP Rocky been around for a minute. The ASAP Mob Collective has been around for quite some time now. As we've seen over the past couple of years, ASAP Ferg has gone off to basically have his own, I'll say, establish his own brand and really become his own artist. But really, ASAP Ferg and ASAP Rocky have been the guys out of the ASAP Mob that I think we have seen blossom into their own person beyond their collective ASAP group. They have quite a few people in that group. I don't even know all the guys I don't know all the names. I just know a couple: ASAP Nash, ASAP Yams, the one who passed from the drug abuse. ASAP Bari. There's a couple of different people in there, but again, ASAP Ferg and ASAP Rocky have been the guys. And another collective that is not even anywhere close to where ASAP Mob has established themselves in hip hop, but YBN, the YBN Collective. YBN The Mirror, YBN Almighty J, and YBN Corday. These are three guys who have really established themselves, young dudes who have really tried to establish the YBN Collective as a household name. I don't really feel like they were ever able to really achieve that. And it, like I said in the news, ASAP Ferg has been feuding with his camp. And there's been this big uproar between camp members where they're telling ASAP Ferg he's no longer ASAP and he needs to get out of here. And, basically you got personal business spilling into the streets, which you never really want, but that's not the point I'm making. Same thing with the YBN clique. Corday has been a guy, new artist. I think he's been one of those guys who, I know you just brought up Chance, Q, but I would actually compare YBN Corday very similar to the hype that was put on Chance the Rapper early on. Like before he ever really released something, it seems like Corday has been anointed by the greats. He's been put in that light, that spotlight as the next guy, the next young dude to basically carry the torch for the next decade. And YBN confirmed that he's no longer, YBN Corday confirmed like this week that he's no longer YBN. He's going to go by Corday from now on, which, he said, hey, it's no love lost. That's his guys. No disrespect to them dudes, but we see different visions. It's, that's not who I am at this point. And hopefully they can respect that, which is interesting because it sparked something in my head where you see a lot of this normally, right? Where you can start out with one collective, you can start out with one group. Sometimes you have collective and creative differences that will basically make you stray off and create your own lane. And I think if ASAP Ferg ends up getting kicked out, quote unquote, or leaving the ASAP mob, I think he'll be all right. Ferg has been a guy who, again, like I said, has established his own lane. I don't really look at him as ASAP anything other than the name. We've seen ASAP Ferg come out and really create sounds, create the energy, create those hype songs that we love. A lot of people compare him to the new age. They say he's the new age Busta Rhymes. Like the type of energy that he brings to the table is unmatched. And so the overall point that I'm making is I feel like sometimes, you can start out with a collective, a group, but it's okay to move on sometimes. I see two different things that's happening right now. I see Corday moving on gracefully. And I see the ASAP Ferg and his camp like legitimately arguing over whether or not he should be part of ASAP mob anymore. You see two completely different perspectives, but I think everybody is entitled to move on. And if you are growing with your creative and what you stand for today no longer actually represents where you were when you first became an artist, there's nothing wrong with that. And so once again, I expect, I'm one of those people who expect big things from YBN Corday, or I guess Corday at this point now. And I don't think dropping the YBN is going to hurt him musically. I don't think anything of it other than the fact that, okay, he's no longer YBN. And same thing with ASAP Ferg. Like if he goes by Ferg from now on, it's not going to be a big deal to me. And so, yeah. Interesting size of this. Again, if you're a part of a collective, there's nothing wrong with moving on if you have creative differences. And that's my advice, thoughts, man. Move gracefully if you're out there. And this has nothing to do with being a rapper or an artist. I mean, like as a collective in any capacity. Like I don't care if you are a part of a writing team, a part of an artist. You're a part of a team of people who do graphic design. Like, bro, like if you have creative differences, have the audacity to move on. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Don't let anybody try to like force you to be a part of that and act like that defines you. I see a lot of that going on and I just think it's whack. So yeah. Shout out to both of them brothers, man. I see both of them dudes having careers and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I think the fact of the matter is, like, people grow. I mean, it's rare that you can grow together. especially when you have a big group, especially when you're completely different people. Like, I think with YBN's group, they are all different. Like, I mean, YBN Namir and YBN Almighty J are very similar, but Corday is left field. Like, I was even surprised. I was like, Corday, I knew this was going to happen because Corday is just on a different mindset completely.
He's on a different mission. It feels like
he's on a different mission.
It just feels like what he's doing artistically is just there's a purpose.
And what I realized was when I realized that this was going to happen was when I figured that, oh, he didn't really know them like that. Like, he's from Maryland. They're from, I believe, Alabama or Mississippi.
Something like that.
There's two different worlds. And as you can't put yourself in a box. Don't be in the hip hop game, as sucky as it sounds, you can't be too loyal. And I think if he was going to try to be too loyal to them, he would have literally had his career not reach the peaks that it could. As for ASAP Ferg, that's a very sad situation that's going on, man. Like, not only what you didn't mention, is that they even were calling his music trash. They were like, yo, what he brought out was trash. Like, from no disrespect, I don't know ASAP Illies. So they have like a hierarchy in terms of respect in that ASAP Ferg group. There's clearly a head honcho. And apparently ASAP Illies is one of the head honchos. Like I said, I've never heard him rap. I didn't even know he existed.
I have no idea who that is.
Random person that said ASAP Ferg was out the group. But the thing that sucked was the other ASAP confirmed it. He was like, yeah.
ASAP Nash.
And now I know ASAP Nasty. I've seen him. I heard of him. It's a sad situation, especially considering that this ASAP group would be any other group if it wasn't for ASAP Rocky and ASAP Ferg. ASAP Ferg, you can argue even more than ASAP Rocky. Remember we were talking about this a couple years back? ASAP Ferg has been putting in work to keep this ASAP group like relevant on a universal standpoint.
Hey, I see what you did there. Work. He has a song called Work.
There you go.
I mean, but honestly, I don't even think it's blasphemous. I don't think it's blasphemous. Let's just come out and say it. ASAP Ferg has been the guy keeping the lights on musically, from a musical relevant standpoint.
ASAP Rocky's, once again, his headspace is something different. But then the question is, in that case, I think each group wants to achieve something different. Each person in the group wants to achieve something different. ASAP Rocky wants to achieve like fashion and next level stuff. ASAP Ferg wants to make bangers. And I'm not sure what the ASAP group wants to achieve at this point. Like, do they want to be still street rappers? Do they want to just still hang out? I don't know.
I don't know, man. But all I do know is, man, if ASAP Ferg moves on, man, he should just. I mean, listen, it's personal because they clearly family. They know each other, personally from the block. They grew up together. It's obvious.
Listen, once again,
like, go off and do your thing, ASAP Ferg.
Once again, no disrespect to his friends, his group. Nothing would change if ASAP Ferg decided to no longer associate. Nothing would change.
Literally,
anything, it would be something he'll get better. Like I
said, we can call him Ferg, and it doesn't matter. To remove the ASAP from his name, whatever.
He would not be blackballed from anything. He would not be. Nothing would change.
Yeah. It's. I hope them brothers get it together. We'll see what happens though. That's my ill-advised thoughts. If you guys stayed this long, we appreciate y'all for tuning in. Like I said earlier in the episode, smash the like button. We would appreciate that. Hit the like button, comment, subscribe, do whatever you need to do to support.
You smashing like buttons, dog. Like, what else are you smashing? Hashtags? You damn freak.
Maybe.
What you got?
Hey,
wet ass like button.
Hey, them hashtags be looking kind of good though, man. I ain't gonna lie.
There's some likes in this house. There's some likes in this house. But
yeah, let's get up out of here, man. As always, if you are giving advice, make sure it's ill.